Be sure to comment, subscribe, and click the notifications bell.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's up guys? JD, Venom here, part of Venom Nation Wrestling, and this is the Getting Over Podcast, episode 12 for your July 21st, 2017. Before we begin here, guys, I want you guys to do me a favor. If you are into video games, you know I stream here on YouTube. Down below, there is a link to my new streaming service. I'm going to Mixer for my streaming services, and I'm also still streaming here on YouTube. But if you want to go support me on Mixer, the link's down below. Please give me a follow. I will highly appreciate it if you guys could do that for me here today. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter and like Facebook page, where both links are down below. Tell your friends and family and come and join the JD Venom Nation here on YouTube. We got some news, of course, for you guys today, including Vince McMahon pursuing 3 former WWE talents to return. So WWE is still trying to push getting new talents in the company. Me personally, I think they have enough talent, but we'll be talking about that in a moment. Also, top officials pleased with the Mae Young Classic. Future tournament plans revealed. Also, Mark Henry announces his in-ring retirement from the WWE. Also, as well, we have John Cena explaining his free agent status, saying that his wrestling days are numbered. So that is a very intriguing story as well. Also, SmackDown and Raw viewership for this week in wrestling, and also Boy and Bay of the week. I appreciate everybody checking out my my Raw, SmackDown reviews from this week. I did not get to do an NXT review. I had a little bit of work issues I had to work out yesterday, so by the time I got out of work, it was already at 9 o'clock and NXT was already over. NXT from last night was a pretty damn good show. I liked it from what I saw on name, and actually it was a pretty decent show, especially with Drew McIntyre and Killian Dane in the main event. Drew McIntyre is going to be facing off against Bobby Roode at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, as you guys already know. Also, as well, I did not get to do my Battleground pay-per-view predictions, and the reason for that is that my friend who runs the predictions did not get off of work. I guess he got off work pretty late. So by the time he got off of work, I was already asleep. So no prediction, but I can give you my quick predictions here real quick before we get into the news here. I got it up here, the card for Battleground 2017. We got the pre-show match, Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. Ty Dillinger will win that. We got Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. I'm going to go with Jinder Mahal to win this match, even though I still don't agree that Jinder Mahal's salary has been crap. I just don't want the title back on Randy Orton. I see Jinder Mahal versus John Cena at SummerSlam. The Usos versus the New Day. I'm going to go with the Usos to, I'm going to go with the New Day to win, but I'm going to go with the Usos to retain. I think they're going to have some type of stipulation match at SummerSlam. John Cena versus Rusev. If this match main events the pay-per-view, I am going with Rusev to win, because I can see Jinder Mahal attacking John Cena. I can see John Cena and Jinder Mahal having some type of interaction before the match, and I can definitely see Jinder Mahal attacking John Cena, in the middle of the match or towards the end of the match. So if it main events, I'm going with Rusev. If it doesn't main event, I'm going with John Cena. But I believe this match will main event, so my official pick is Rusev. Charlotte versus Becky versus Natalya versus Tamina versus Lana to determine the #1 contendership for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. I'm going to go with Lana. They're still focusing on Lana as a wrestler. They're still focusing on her, I guess, being, one of those women on the roster as, oh, well, you were a manager. You're just a pretty face. You don't know how to wrestle. That's who I'm going with. I am going with Lana. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. I'm going with Shinsuke Nakamura, as I explained in my SmackDown review. Baron Corbin is the Money in the Bank briefcase winner. He's the holder of it. If he loses, it doesn't really hurt him because he's still holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's not really going to hurt him. I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura to win this match. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. AJ Styles is going to win. They just put the title on AJ Styles. I don't see why they will take the title off AJ Styles at this point in time. And Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis. Again, I don't know why they're having a rematch. Again, I don't know why they couldn't just wait, 5 days going into fucking Battleground to have this match. But again, you want to have this match again on pay-per-view. We already saw the match. WWE. So why did you give away this match for free on TV? I have no idea why you did this, but I am going to be going with Mike Kanellis to win this match against Sami Zayn. So those are the predictions there. Ty Dillinger, Jinder Mahal. I'm going to go with the New Day to win, but the Usos to retain the titles. I'm going to go with Rusev. I'm going to go with Lana, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and Mike Kanellis. Those are my WWE Battleground 2017 pay-per-view predictions. Let me know what your predictions are down below. And let's move on to the news right now. Before we start off with what we normally start off with, which is the Raw and SmackDown viewership from this week, I want to start off with this. I want to start off with WWE and the top officials being very pleased with the Mae Young Classic and how they are looking to possibly have future tournaments to be planned. And we know that the WWE, ever since the King of the Ring, that was always their main tournament every year, is the King of the Ring. You know what I mean? We used to look forward to the King of the Ring every year, all the way from 1993 through 2002. We used to really look forward to that every year and have guys be crowned King of the Ring like Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Edge. We've seen these guys being crowned King of the Ring and eventually take that next step to the main event, or to, going through a mid-card title and up through the main event. So, the fact that tournaments in WWE is starting to be a thing again, even though it's not the King of the Ring, it's something that I still want to see. Now, me personally, I would like to see 2 tournaments a year. One during the summertime, like around July-ish, and one between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. I think it'll be a great time to do a tournament then as well. Between that time frame, between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, maybe like a tag team tournament. But speaking of tag team, coming here from Wrestling News World, it says, despite rumors that some officials weren't pleased with looks, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were both thrilled on how the recent Mae Young Classic tapings turned out. And there's already talk of doing another women's tournament 2 years in time. However, with WWE in the early stages of playing a tag team tournament in 2018, which I'm very fucking excited for. Again, we need tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling is my favorite thing to watch in wrestling, because you can book a old school psychology that will still work today in tag team wrestling. Maybe not necessarily an old school psychology in a singles match. You may see that every now and then that will work. But in tag team wrestling, it works every single time. But if they go with this tag team tournament, I'm all game for it. But that'll be the idea, is the following year that will be a women's tag team tournament. Right now, Triple H likes the idea of doing a WWE Network exclusive tournament every summer, sandwiched between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, based on how pleased Triple H was with the 7/13 and 7/14 tapings. After some initial skepticism on whether they could find enough high-level women to fill out the bracket, there is discussion of the men and women alternating each year, with male tournaments taking place in even years and female tournaments taking place in odd years. I like it. I like it because here's the thing. It's kind of like the Olympics. We see the Olympics, we see the World Cup, we see some tournaments, major sporting events, every 4 years. Now, in this case, I would like to see tournaments with WWE every 2 years or every 4 years. They could do the women's tag team tournament. I don't know. That means you may do a women's tag team titles. I don't know if I would like to see that. You know what I mean? I think there's gonna be some type of prize that they'll get, a women's tag team title. I don't know if I would like that. Okay, you got the Dusty Rose Cup, which is for the tag teams. You can do the Cruiserweight. You can do the Cruiserweight Classic. Okay, you got the Mae Young Classic, and you can do the King of the Ring. And King of the Ring, what you can do with that is you can, if they really want to do this will be a great idea. They can mix and match between the main roster, SmackDown, Raw, versus NXT and Indies. I don't think they will do that, but that will be fucking great. If you can do a 16-man tournament, 4 from each, 4 from NXT, 4 from the Indies, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown, and have it culminate at a SummerSlam live or culminate at an NXT event live, I would love to see that. That would be a fucking great idea. Do a King of the Ring tournament, put your own little spin on it. You can have some of the matches on live TV. You can have some of the matches on NXT. Now, this would be kind of hard to keep up with, but if the market's there, you can do it. This will, you know, have cross-platforming on WWE TV, on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and a WWE network exclusive if they really want to go with that. Really, they can just, instead of having a network exclusive, just keep it on NXT. Because you can have the indie guys be on NXT. That's fine. You know what I mean? If it come, and they will have their own different brackets. They will all be mixed up in there. So let's say if you get, for example, Shinsuke Nakamura, you know, on the SmackDown side, that like one of the 4 SmackDown competitors, and you grab Kenny Omega. Let's just say Kenny Omega be from the Indies. Let's say he should just come into WWE and he hasn't signed a contract yet, but he'll be in the Indies. And they are like the 2nd round match, 3rd round match. You tell me you wouldn't want to see that? And that was on a WWE Network exclusive, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kenny Omega? You're telling me that you wouldn't want fans to see that? Fans will love to see that match. But if you make it a WWE Network exclusive for that match on NXT, and you can make it live, that match, bingo. People are going to be signing up for the network like hotcakes to see that match. Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles. Let's say this is like Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins. Kenny Omega versus Roman Reigns. Even people will tune in to see that. I will, because Kenny Omega's that great. And, you know, even though it's with Roman Reigns, it's a match that I'm pretty sure there's some fans out there that probably will want to see. It's not the top of my list by any means, but it'll be the top of some fans' list. You know what I mean? Or maybe have, you know, this is way left field. This is not going to happen. But since I'm thinking about Kenny Omega, I'm thinking about New Japan. Tetsuya Naito or Kazuchika Okada being in the tournament. It's not going to happen. I'm just making an example. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. But can you imagine WWE doing a King of the Ring tournament, taking four of the top guys from, I guess, if you want to call it from the Indies or from New Japan, you know, all mixed in. 4 of the top guys from NXT, 4 of the top guys from Raw, 4 top guys from SmackDown, and making that a tournament not every single year, but every 4 years. So every 4 years, you can do a King of the Ring, you can do a Cruiserweight Classic, you can do a Mae Young Classic, and you can do a Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I think I will solve all the issues right there every single year with WWE and having each tournament being special. Because if we see the tournament every single year, it won't be as special. But if we can see that tournament every 4 years, I think that's something that will be very, very, very awesome to see. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments. But just hearing that we're going to have a tag team tournament next year, possibly. That's in the works, and I think they are going to get it done. Is something that I cannot wait to see. So let me know what you guys think about that. Alright guys, so let's move on to our viewership discussion this week. Raw and SmackDown. Raw this week. We'll start off with Raw this week. This week's edition of Monday Night Raw, which was headlined by a #1 contendership match between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, had some hype revolving around the reveal of Kurt Angle's secret, drew 3.1 million viewers. This is up 5% from last week. Last week's was at 3 million viewers. This went up to 3.1. So, in the first hour, Raw drew 3.1 million, second hour 3.2, and third hour, which will always dips, but it still averaged 3 million viewers. Now, I knew it was going to go up. Is it going to go up again this week? Coming up, that's going to be a hard one. The reason why I'm saying that's going to be a hard one is because that we don't know how the fans are going to receive this Kurt Angle secret. And that was the biggest thing from Monday Night Raw. We did get Braun Strowman returning. There could be intrigue there with Braun Strowman returning and seeing what's going to happen with that, the fallout of that. But I'm not sure if we're going to see a viewership increase. I hope WWE proves me wrong, but I don't know if it's going to go up or go down, which is kind of good. If it stays the same, I guess that's fine. As long as you're over 3 million viewers, that will be the goal right now with WWE, because right now, 3.5 million viewers, that's not realistic at all for WWE when it comes to Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live this week drew 2.5 million viewers, and this is up again from last week's 2.4 million viewers. So, again, SmackDown is increasing in viewership, even though I thought this SmackDown, and both shows were not good this week. So, it could dip because the shows absolutely fucking sucked this week. So, even though there was huge intriguement for, you know, Kurt Angle and the #1 contendership match on Raw, it could drop down because the show fucking sucked this week. You know what I mean? Even though SmackDown went up this week, the show was not good either. So, this week's SmackDown, which was headlined by AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin, you know, we don't know what's going to happen this week coming up here, but we already know what's going to happen at Battleground. So, it could go up just because of the fallout from Battleground. Maybe a shocking thing happens. I don't see anything that can be shocking that can happen where it's like, oh my god, or oh shit. So I don't know. I don't know what can actually happen that can be shocking, that can increase viewership. Maybe it could go up a little bit, and this will sound kind of fucked up a little bit. Maybe there'll be more fans watching due to Shane McMahon's helicopter crash, and maybe they'll probably, I won't say they'll incorporate that, but maybe he'll mention that in a backstage promo, or maybe the fans want to see Shane, you know what I mean, see how he's doing since the crash. But from Wednesday, since the crash happened, all the way through Tuesday, that's a long time. So I don't know if that, you know, if that intriguement or if the attention of that can stay on through Tuesday. So we'll see how SmackDown does next Tuesday. But that is your Raw and SmackDown viewership from this week. Moving on to Vince McMahon pursuing 3 former talents to return to the WWE. You guys may have heard about this, but I am going to officially give my opinion on this. Vince McMahon is on his annual kick of trying to sign former talent to the company. Vince gets on these kicks because he feels that he needs more talent. Now, I'm going to address that right there. That he needs more talent. That he feels that he needs more talent. He has too much talent. That's the issue. That's one of the issues with WWE. You got too much talent. You don't even know what you're doing with the talent that you do have right now. You got guys like Ty Dillinger and Sami Zayn and Luke Harper. And, you know, you got these guys on both Raw and SmackDown that's hardly even used. Some grandly doesn't need to be used, like Dana Botch and fucking Mojo Bitch. But there are some guys on both brands that we don't even see every Monday, like Dolph Ziggler. I mean, I know Dolph Ziggler is not everybody's cup of tea now, all of a sudden. You know what I mean? I still like Dolph Ziggler. I still think he's still one of my favorite wrestlers in the company. But he's not being used on SmackDown. You know, it's just what it is. He's just not being used on SmackDown right now. You know what I mean? So, I think it's a problem where they have too much talent. Okay? That is just my opinion when it comes to that. But rumor has it that he has had inquiries sent out to CM Punk, John Morrison, and Rey Mysterio. Details on each case are very skewed, to say the least, as really only Vince knows, as he is keeping things close to the vest. Morrison is currently upset with AAA over the handling of his fiancée, and it's likely that the Lucha Underground contracts are going to become dissolved soon. Information on Rey Mysterio is scarce on his situation, other than he wants one last run in the States. And also, as well, as far as Punk goes, you never say never in this business, which is very true. As much as Punk has said he does not want to wrestle again and will never will in WWE, if he and Vince can come to terms to the lawsuit and solving that first, I don't see it being out of the question. However, I will believe it when I see it. At the end of the day, Punk is not getting any younger, and there's a lot of money he could be making if he can return. And this is all coming from Mr. Tom Fenton from Wrestling News World. So, here's the thing. I'm going to go through each one of these guys and get my opinion on it and to see if they will return or not. It's just my opinion. First, CM Punk. We're just going to jump right into the wire with this. CM Punk. CM Punk, I believe he's returning. He's about 40 years old. I think he's 40 years old. Let me look it up real quick. CM Punk. CM Punk. He is 38. I'm sorry. I don't see him returning this year. If he's going to return, he's going to return in 2019. 2018. Where he's going to be 39 years old. Okay? So he's nearly 40. So, the door is closing for CM Punk to return to WWE. Okay? I see him returning not before WrestleMania. I can see him returning after SummerSlam, the fall of 2018. I can see him come back from one last run for a couple of years. I can see him main eventing WrestleMania, because you know that's going to be in his contract, that he guarantees a WrestleMania main event, because that was one of probably like 50%, 60% of why he left the WWE, because he did not get his main event WrestleMania match. There was obviously some other things with it as well, but you know that was one of the biggest things for him quitting the WWE. Do I want to see CM Punk back? Hell yeah, I do. One of my favorites of all time. I just hope that WWE knows what they're doing when they bring him back. I hope the ill wills between each other, between CM Punk, Vince McMahon, Triple H, I hope that they will iron out the wrinkles and that they realize that they're going to make each other big money. Everybody has returned to WWE at some point. Everybody. Bret Hart, Montreal Screwjob. Bruno Sammartino talked bad about Vince McMahon in WWE for years when he left in the 80s. You know what I mean? Hulk Hogan left multiple times. Went to WCW, left, came back, and he may come back soon. Kurt Angle, who returned recently. So, these guys all come back. Ultimate Warrior before he passed away. Macho Man was in good terms with WWE when he was in the WWE All-Star Games. They were in a working relationship. You knew Vince and Macho was going to come back together before Macho unfortunately passed away in that horrible automobile accident. My thing is that everybody returns to WWE in some fashion. Will CM Punk return in 2018, mid to late 2018? I think he will. I think he can. And I think he will begin a WrestleMania main event. I think that's what he wants. I think that he wants several programs with guys that he hasn't worked one-on-one yet. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. CM Punk versus AJ Styles. CM Punk versus Nakamura. CM Punk versus Bobby Roode. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. Judging if Kenny Omega will be in the company at the time. Can you imagine all those scenarios, all those matches? I would like to see CM Punk work. I would like to see CM Punk work with nobody else that he hasn't worked with before. I don't want to see CM Punk versus John Cena. As much as how great the match will be, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see CM Punk versus Randy Orton. I don't want to see CM Punk versus Triple H. I don't. I don't want to see CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. I'm going to throw that out right there. I don't care to see that. You know what I mean? Don't want to see CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, although Brock Lesnar may not be in the company when CM Punk comes back. I don't want to see none of the matches that we've seen or none of the programs that we've seen with CM Punk before. I only want to see brand new stuff with CM Punk. That will be a great way to see fresh matchups, to not get tired of CM Punk because he's always in a fresh matchup. He's always in a fresh feud. I will love to see that. Are we going to see that? I don't know. But hey, only one man can imagine. I want to see CM Punk having his contract. Hey, let me go down to NXT and let me work at NXT. Let me be in a feud on NXT and let me, build some of those guys down there. Can you imagine CM Punk versus Aleister Black? CM Punk versus, Killian Dane? CM Punk versus Eric Young? You know what I mean? Can you imagine those matchups to happen down at NXT? CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre? That'll be a hard-hitting match. It's just something that I want to see. I only want to see CM Punk being involved with wrestlers that he has not faced in a one-on-one contest, in a one-on-one scenario, in a one-on-one program in the WWE. Let me know what you think about that with CM Punk. Also as well, John Morrison. I would love to see John Morrison come back. John Morrison is younger than Punk. He can still go. You know what I mean? He's like a year or two younger than Punk. And I really think that I really think that he'll do well. I really think that John Morrison is a guy that deserves to be in the main event. He was there in 2011. I remember the first Raw of 2011 where The Miz versus John Morrison, it was like in a Extreme Rules match, a street fight, whatever it was. They had a great match. Now, John Morrison didn't win that match. Obviously, he never became WWE champion, but it showed that he had the, he had it. He had it. He was there. But for whatever reason, WWE didn't really push him all the way to the top. This was still when, John Cena was still, he had his fucking throat around Monday Night Raw. So, I see good things out of John Morrison if he does come back to the WWE. And also Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio could put Rey Mysterio in the fucking Cruiserweight division. That's all you need right there. Put Rey Mysterio in the Cruiserweight division. Boom. Cruiserweight division is a lot more prevalent. It's a lot more relevant. It's a lot more watchable by putting Rey Mysterio in the Cruiserweight division. That's my opinion. As far as brands, CM Punk could be a floater. He could be like, even though Brock Lesnar's assigned to Monday Night Raw, I could see him being a free agent like John Cena. He could go to any show. John Morrison, I will put him on SmackDown. I'll put him on SmackDown. And Rey Mysterio, I'll put him on Raw. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. Moving on to, I guess if you want to call it a sad, story here. Mark Henry announces retirement from in-ring competition. He's at 46 years of age. God damn, I didn't know he was that old. And he's still in great fucking shape. He doesn't look 46 years old at all. He doesn't. Black don't crack. Black don't crack, motherfuckers. Now 46 years of age and having had a wrestling career dating back since 1996, that's fucking true, Mark Henry has finally decided to hang up the boots and announce his retirement for in-ring competition. During an episode of Table for Three, oh, I didn't see that. Oh, okay, he announces, oh wow, I didn't know that. Which obviously was recorded some time ago. He told fellow guests Ron Simmons and The Godfather that he was a couple months away from moving over to a backstage role and helping with younger talent. Good shit, Mark Henry. They just don't want to be in the wrestling business. Henry has had quite the year from coming in as a Olympian weightlifter, joined Nation Domination as a heel, and had one of the most memorable storylines involving Mae Young, and even eventually became a World Heavyweight Champion in WWE and ECW. He wasn't in ECW. What the fuck? Who the fuck? What? Who wrote that? He wasn't in ECW. He was in WWE ECW. What the fuck? But anyway, thanks for the in-ring memories, Mark. Good luck in your future endeavors. I would say good luck. Good luck to Mark Henry. I mean, I'm glad. I'm not saying I'm glad that he retired, but I'm glad that he's staying in WWE in some fashion. So, go to Mark Henry. Hopefully, everything goes well with him and everything. I mean, it's just about that time for him to retire. I mean, what more can the guy do? He put over everybody, that he can. So, Mark Henry finally retired from in-ring competition in the WWE. Moving on to our last story here before Boy and Bay of the Week and This Week in Wrestling. John Cena explains his free agent status, says that his wrestling days are numbered. John Cena was recently interviewed by Complex to discuss his free agent status in WWE and talk about his age is catching up with him and that his wrestling days are winding down. The reason that I want to become a free agent and the reason they kind of grant my request is because I don't know if I will be available for SmackDown Pacific or only Raw Pacific only. I also know that my days are numbered. I just turned 40 in April, and we have so many young and talented performers. I don't know how many years I have left. So in that time that I have left, I'm going to do what I can to dedicate to this company. I just want to be able to do it the most time that I could possibly can. End quote from John Cena. I mean, we all get old. We all get old. Hulk Hogan didn't wrestle forever. Stone Cold didn't wrestle forever. The Rock didn't wrestle forever. Triple H, he only wrestles once a fucking year now. Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Kane, who's trying to become mayor. Diamond Dallas Page, Goldberg, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Sting, Lex Luger, guys like that. All guys like that I grew up with in the early 90s to mid-90s through the Attitude Era, both in WCW and ECW and the WWF, they're gone. The only guys that are left from my era growing up is The Big Show and Goldust. I think that's why I still like those guys, because those are from my era. But once they all retire, they're gone. John Cena is a guy that came after my childhood. I was a teenager when John Cena first came to WWE. So guys like John Cena and Batista and Randy Orton and The Miz, I'll lump The Miz in there because around 2006 he started to be wrestling. Guys like that, I have a different, I guess, what's the word, tie to them, attachment to them. Guys like the Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Big Show, Kevin Nash, guys like that, those are all going to be forever my heroes, no matter what we think of them outside of wrestling, but those guys are going to be forever my heroes. John Cena and, and Randy Orton, Batista, guys like that, I don't consider my heroes. This is where I start becoming fucking smart. You know what I mean? I still appreciate everything that they did in the ring. You know, once John Cena retires, it's going to fucking suck. Even though I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, I always said that he's been the hardest working man in professional wrestling. And he's still the hardest working man in show business because he's still wrestling. Now he's wrestling, not on a full-time schedule, but he's still at, I think he's still at some house shows. He's still wrestling on SmackDown. He's there. And he's still doing his Hollywood obligations as well. So, it's going to become, eventually it's going to come. He wants to start a family with Nikki Bella. And, you know, and I'm going to get Nicole pregnant. I'm going to get Nicole pregnant. I'm going to have babies with her. You know what I mean? It's going to happen eventually. So, we'll just see when that day comes. We'll see when that day comes for John Cena. That's it for today's and this week's wrestling news. Let's get into our boy NBA of the week. My boy of the week is a man who returned to Monday Night Raw this Monday. It's a man that was being hidden from us for a while. Not really for a while. Well, really, well, it depends, for a while. It was a man that returned to Monday Night Raw in a role that we did not realize he was going to return as. No rumors, nothing out there about this guy returning to Monday Night Raw as Kurt Angle's son. Is the black Jason Jordan. The black man Jason Jordan is the white man's Kurt Angle's son. I still can't fucking believe that. But he's my boy of the week. Because why he's my boy of the week? It gives this guy an opportunity. It gives this guy an opportunity at the end of the day. Once you get down to its core, it gives this guy an opportunity to do something on Raw as a singles guy. So that's why he's my boy of the week. My bae of the week is a woman who has not been bae of the week yet. It's a woman who had a good, very good television match on SmackDown. It is a woman that defeated Charlotte Flair, the robotic Flair, in a one-on-one contest, and she will be facing off against 4 women at Battleground to become the number 1 contender for the WWE SmackDown Women's title. It is Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch winning her match against Charlotte cleanly this week via this armor. So Becky Lynch is my bae of the week. Last but not least, guys, we are going to begin to this week in wrestling. This week in wrestling, 14 years ago this week, Ring of Honor presented Death Before Dishonor from the Rexplex in Elizabeth, New Jersey. We had a lot of matches on this card here. I'm going to go over the card here and leave your memories down below about this card. Low-Key defeated The Range. Matt Striker defeated Jimmy Rave. The Texas Academy of Hot Stuff Hernandez, Rudy Boy Gonzalez, Don Juan, Fast Eddie defeated the Carnage Crew of DeVito, Loke, Masada, and Justin Credible in a tag team weapons match. The appearance of John Walters and Tony Mamaluke defeated the Outcast Killers of Diablo Santiago and Oman Tortuga. Tom Carr defeated Douglas Williams. BJ Whitmer defeated Cocabana, Dan Math, and Homicide in a 4-corner survival match for the number 1 contenders trophy. Special K of Hydro, Mikey Whipwreck, Dixie, and Angel Dust defeated the Backstreet Boys of Trent Acid. Trent Acid. These names, man, fucking indie names. Johnny Cashmere and the SAT of Joe Maximo and Jose Maximo in a tag team scramble match. Jeff Hardy defeated Joey Matthews and Crazy K in a 3-way dance. CM Punk defeated Raven in a dog collar match. AJ Styles and Amazing Red defeated the Briscoes, JMR Briscoes, to retain the RH World Tag Team titles. And in the main event of the show, Samoa Joe defeated Paul London to retain the RH World Championship. Just look at some of the names here. Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, the Briscoes, Paul London, Mikey Whipwreck, Colt Cabana, Homicide, Douglas Williams, Tony Mamaluke, Just Incredible, Matt Striker, Loki. That's a lot of talent that was backstage at Ring of Honor before Dishonor 14 years ago in 2003. I was gonna say 2013 in 2003. A lot of fucking talent, guys. So let me know what you think about that show down below. If you guys seen it, I haven't seen it, but I thought this was I saw the card, I was like, this is a cool card to go over because there's a lot of crazy talent in here. You know, that just branched out to other companies. You know, after this here, and actually AJ Styles was already in fucking TNA at the time. So, but guys, let me know what you think about that show down below. But guys, that's it. That is it for this podcast here, for the Getting Over Podcast, episode 12. That is it, guys. If you did like this here, be sure to leave me a thumbs up on your way out. Be sure to follow me on Mixer. It is down below, or you can look up Venom J210 on Mixer. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and like the Facebook page, where both links are down below. And I will see you guys later, and I will see you for my Battleground 2017 pay-per-view review this Sunday. Peace out.